we're gonna do. We are gonna paint our pumpkin orange, just like normal. We got a couple of oranges. We have an orange, a really burnt reddish orange, and a yellow for our pumpkin. We're gonna paint our hat black, and we're gonna use a little purple on our hat band. And I wanna show you a couple of things that we are gonna add in to our cute little pumpkin witch and where I got them, okay? So one of the first things I wanna show you is I had picked up this fall, what do you call these things? Just a little floral thing, a floral stem. I picked up this fall floral stem at Hobby Lobby because it had acorns and it had the little baby pine cones, and I love the leaves and these little berry pieces. So I literally just picked off a pine cone from there, the smallest one that was on the branch, and I will use a pick, thank you. I will use some of this stuff randomly throughout the fall to add into my art. So I bought this one and I bought this one. I love these little leafy things and these cute little mini sunflowers and these little bits of whatever that is. So I bought these two stems because I thought we could use some of this here and there to add into our art to give it some pizzazz. So we're using a sunflower from one of these picks and a pine cone, all right? So the other things that we are using, so go find you a pick when they're on sale and find one that has all kinds of little, like a good variety of little things in it, and you'll be able to use that all through the fall. All right, so the next thing I'm using is this. I cut off a little, thank you, Phyllis. Is Mom here, Judy? I didn't see her. Hi, Mom. I cut off a little rustic metal star off of this little bit of stuff from Hobby Lobby. This comes in the miniature section where during Christmas they have this whole section of little miniature things. And this is a little streamer set. It's like all on wire. Well, I broke that. All on wire. It's like wired stars. And I just cut one off the wire. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you for the stars. Thank you, Phyllis. You guys are on point. I cut one of those off and we're going to add that in. And let's see what else. Oh, I bought this wire because I wanted to use it to hang some things. This came from Hobby Lobby as well. It's just covered wire. So it's brown. It kind of has that brown crafty look. And I thought it would make a really cute, let me grab my scissors. I took my bead pick and just wound that around. Let me kind of give you a little demonstration. So just cut off a section and you can take something, a pencil or something small, and just wrap it around and create little curly cues. And I thought that would be cute coming out from under all of our little tidbits that we're gonna put on the hat. So thank you for the sprinkles, ladies. So, and I also pulled these out of my magic hat. These came from Hobby Lobby too. So you could totally like paint that orange and put that on there as well. We're not gonna use that. I'm gonna use my pine cone, my sunflower, a star hanging from his hat, and just some curly cues. And we're gonna use that to decorate. We're gonna make black glass. We're gonna add black glass to the hat. So I just wanted to kind of give you a heads up of where I bought all my little goodies that we are going to apply to this precious little art piece. Now, white canvas straight out of the package, 8 by 10, right here. 8 by 10 is the size. I think I'm gonna trace around and then paint my background around it because I kind of want to do some shadowing. And so we're going to do it that way this time. So I'm going to go ahead and tape this down kind of where I want it. I want to give the bottom, I want to have a little space on the bottom where we have, so we can like create a little table for ourselves. And I'm gonna tape this down. We're gonna trace around. We're gonna start that very soon. I have 2 projects on the little surface behind me that have 2 of the cutest Christmas projects you have ever seen, if I say so myself. I'm so happy with them. Roll Tide, Amy. So I'm gonna go ahead and trace, and then we're gonna paint our background around, and then we will paint our inside. Just doing it a little different. It would be great for the spidery web stream, for sure. Or a plastic spider, for sure. I love when y'all are thinking outside the box, all the fun Halloween-y things. So let's get this. I'm gonna turn it this way because it's too long. I'm not gonna paint my spider yet either, okay? Because we're gonna paint our background, and we'll paint that with our black paint at the end. So I'm gonna just start with this hat, and I'm gonna get my little hat traced on. Then we'll do our hat band. I'm being kind of wiggly because I don't want any of this to be like a perfect straight line. Now we'll get the bottom of our hat, the bill, the rim, the brim, whatever your heart wants to call it. And come here. And then for now, I'm just gonna paint the outside of our pumpkin. All right? I'm not gonna paint or trace the face on yet. I meant trace, not paint. I'm not gonna trace my face on yet. I love its cute little face. So let me peek and make sure I got my hats, the brim, the pumpkin. We are good to go. Let's get this party started. Now I'm gonna paint the background of, I'm gonna keep that right here because I think we may put it right back on when we're done. I am gonna use a little bit of white. Hey, Cloma, how are you? We're gonna put a little bit of white on our canvas because you always like to have, on our canvas. Lord, I can't talk today. On my paint palette, my plates. And this is a new bottle of antique gold. Let me see if I can open it. I need to go to the Hobby Lobby tomorrow and buy paint because a lot of my bottles are icky. So we're gonna put a little bit of antique gold on our plate too, because that is what I'm gonna put on the top portion of my background. And then on the very bottom, I'm just gonna use black. I'm gonna wait for the black though. Let's go ahead and just get started on the upper portion of the background. So I'm gonna make myself a little pencil line where I want the black to be. Okay, so we're gonna do, and I'm just gonna guesstimate. I'm gonna do maybe about right here. And I'm just gonna come over and guess. That's probably about 2 inches. So that's where our separation's gonna be. I'm not trying to even be perfect. I don't do perfect well anyway. So I'm gonna start. Can you see all the things? Let me scoot over. I'm gonna start with a little bit of white, and I think I'm gonna start in a section. I'm gonna start around the outside edge and just use my white in about 1/4. So I'm gonna kind of cut this in half and in quarters, so I'm gonna do that. And then with this white still on my brush, hello Dawn, I'm gonna grab up some of the antique gold, and I'm gonna come in and just kind of cut in around my cute little witchy hat. And we'll come around this way. There we are. And hang on, I didn't do a very good line. Now I'm gonna grab a little bit more, and I'm gonna come up and around this section. And I'm gonna come over here and do the same thing, just getting some of that straight yellow on my old dirty brush. And once we get that traced in, that section, I'm just gonna come in and fill in the rest of that area over the top of that white. So you can see that it gets lighter to the outside edge and it's darker right up next to the hats. It's kind of faux shading. I'm actually gonna take a little bit of this and go ahead and finish that edge. Y'all know I don't do that very often, right? So the art piece we did in the shattered circle last night, so cute, but I had to go back and paint my edge because I was being ornery and didn't want to paint it. And then once it was done, I was like, okay, now I got to go paint that. Because it was so pretty, it needed painting. So one section at a time, that way we can blend. Thank you, Melinda. That way we can blend all the things in together. Thank you, Sherry. So we'll do this side now. I'm gonna do my light color all the way down to my line. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna pull that in right around close to my tracer. I'll even pull it to the right and just kind of blend that all in together. Yay! So now we'll do another section. We're just gonna keep going. Oh, I need to do my edge, don't I? Yep. If we're gonna be gifting, it's gotta look good. All right, so we're gonna get white again, and I'm gonna do like a whole section. I'm gonna start close to my edge. I'm gonna go ahead and get some of that on the edge. That's gonna help us stay lighter on the outside edge than it is close to our piece. All right, so now I'm gonna grab up some of the yellow. I'm just gonna start here. And we're just gonna pull it around that hat. That's kind of cheat shading. Now we're just gonna blend some of that around. Let me come this way so I can see what I'm doing. Might need a little more. There's a little more space over here. Bring it all the way to the edge and let's take some of that over the edge. Y'all following so far? Y'all doing it? Thank you, Pammy. How are you? Hey, girlfriend. So let's get some white right on the edge. I miss you. We need to go eat Mexican. I miss those days. Oops, look what I did, y'all. I forgot to do that whole top piece. Let me go back. I just saw it. Get that done. Just realized I missed that whole section. And we'll get some of the antique gold. This is just messy. Don't even think about it too much kinds of shading. Because this is just a cute, fun little project. We're not trying to be Picasso over here. Okay, let's just follow our tracer line. Around. And let's just blend some of it in. Voila, look at that. Cute, cute, simple shading. Let's do our edge. I'm just bound and determined not to do the edge. Now we're gonna do the bottom half. So cute. Let's rinse. Hey, Elizabeth. Thank you, Melissa. All right, so we rinsed all that off. So now I'm gonna grab a little bit of black, just whatever black you have. Oh, Melinda, I can't wait to see it. That has been one of my favorite projects. I know I say that a lot, but I'm never lying, I promise. I always mean it. Love the texture though. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to get a little bit of white on my brush, and I'm gonna come down on the very bottom, about a ½ inch up, and add some of that white. We'll go ahead and add it to the bottom edge as well. So I'm coming up about a ½ inch. Now I'm going to grab my black with that dirty brush that had the white still in it. And I'm going to go across that line that we made with a pencil. Hang on, not doing a very good job. I'm going to come, and I'm just going to start going, hang on, I got to turn this a little. I'm just going to start going around my pumpkin. Pumpkin's going to be nice and orange, very traditional. And don't worry if you get out of line, you can always fix that. Trying to keep my hands out of the paint. And up to my little line there. And then let's turn it back around. And now I'm just gonna scrub that black into the white so it's darker at the top and then lighter at the bottom. And we'll run that down in to the bottom edge as well. All right, I gotta hold this with my finger, hang on. Just kind of scrub it in, give yourself a little mixture of the two colors together. And then we'll take it, I want to make sure I get all the way down, and then I'm just going to take it to the edge. I'm not going to be too worried about what I do here. I'm just going to get that black on, make a nice line. Then I'm just going to grab up a little bit of white and blend it right on top. Same on the bottom edge. I'm just going to grab some black. Can y'all see that bottom edge? Can you see? I'm just going to grab this black, add it. Then I'm going to grab some white and just add it right on top. So we're kind of making just highlights and lowlights of black, white, and then a little bit of gray. There we go. And we'll do this last little piece. A little bit of black right on that line. A little bit of white, blend it all in, and we're done with our background. Super simple, just that easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'm gonna go across again, I see a little line. So, there. And don't try to be perfect either. I'm gonna take a little bit of white on the tips of my bristles and just make a few little lines. The messier, the better, in my opinion. All right, that's our background. But thank you, Barbara. So let's see. I'm gonna stick that brush in because it's a little big for what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna grab up something a little smaller, and we are gonna go ahead while we have black, and we're gonna paint the top of the hat. We're gonna skip this band, and then we're gonna paint the brim. This here, the band, and I don't do a good job of painting sideways and upside down. Have to turn it the way it works best for my hand, for my old lady hand. So let's just get this hat painted. All right, I'm gonna, while I got this loaded, I'm gonna go ahead and hit the end. And I like it to be crookedy and A little mangled. I don't want my hat to be. Ooh, there we go. Flip her around. Oh, it is storming here. Yes, Julie knows. It has been storming here for the last hour or two, so I don't really have control. If it freezes, hopefully it won't last long. All right, so let's do this part of the hat. Oh, did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that thunder? It just thundered really, really, really loud. It's really come a nasty little thunderstorm here. And we went, Carla and I spent a better part of the day out and about looking for cabinets for our little break room kitchen because it had sat empty for way too long. And we loaded them all in the truck, and then it was about to start raining, so we had to hurry. All right, so we're just gonna do this part of the hat and be wiggly. Don't try to be perfect. You don't want a perfect straight line. Well, unless you want a perfect straight line. And then, if you want a perfect straight line, that's what you should paint. Oh, did y'all hear it? Yeah, it was loud. It is a thundering. Okay, black hat. Let's rinse. This water isn't gonna last long. All right, I'm gonna find in my water a small brush. This is just like a liner brush. It's a number 4, and I'm gonna use it to put my purple in these 2 little spots. It's just inevitable. Right under, this is like the underside of the little witchy hat. And down. We'll do the other side, and then we'll get something a little bit bigger to do the hat band. Otherwise, this little brush will take us forever. Sometimes you got to use more than one. All right, let's get a little bit bigger. Not that big, not that small, not that big. That'll work. And we're gonna paint the little hat band with the same purple. Then we're gonna dry this because I can't do anything else with this mess without it being dried a little. And this will probably need 2 coats. Purple has, to get a really nice dark purple, it takes a lot of tint, which is why a lot of your purples will be a little translucent. It takes so much tint to make a dark purple that it messes with the binder. So that's why a lot. All I did, if you missed anything, all I did was dry the purple. Yes. I want to make sure it's dry because I was in panic mode. I can't really see any comments, so forgive me if I don't answer anything. I'm just going to keep painting as long as we have interweb, okay? So, next thing we're going to do, this is all nice and dry, so I'm going to start painting my pumpkin. And I'm going to start with the spiced pumpkin. I'll put a little bit of spiced pumpkin on my canvas. Oh. And I'm going to do my shadowing with Georgia clay. This is a new bottle, so I got to peel off this label. It's all frozen, isn't it? Stephen Gray. I need you, will you log on and watch so that if it goes away again, I will know it? And antique gold. I don't care. Oh, I have antique gold, so we're gonna leave that, and I have my white still. I'm gonna try to be expeditious. I need a different brush. Okay, we good? Yay. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the spice pumpkin, the orangey orange, and we're gonna paint our whole piece with the orange. I'm gonna get the center as fast as I can, and then we'll go around the edges or vice versa. Let's just do the slow part first. Let's go around the outside edge. We good? If we get booted again, I don't want to miss it, and then y'all don't get to see the finished project. So I'm trying to pay attention, but it's super hard to watch your phone and paint at the same time. So let's get right up next to that hat. Still good? You're just gonna have to watch it, much to your chagrin. Yeah, Facebook booted me off. They completely disconnected me. So I want to make sure that if that happens again, that I know it so I can start the recording. Yeah. It's just going to keep doing that because of the weather and because Facebook and the internet hate me. All right, so I'm just going to keep painting. Now, once you have your orange on, we're going to come in. So it's just all that one color. What I'm going to do is come in. Oh, there's black on my brush. Let me get that off. If you can hear me, I cannot see any comments. So I apologize if you're asking questions or talking to me. I can't see anything. So I'm just going to paint, and I'll answer any questions later. I'm going to go back around the left side of this pumpkin with the original orange all the way around, just on that left side with my dirty brush. I'm just going to wipe a little of that orange off. With my dirty brush, I'm going to grab up a little bit of that Georgia clay, and I'm going to come around that edge and add that Georgia clay to that side. We'll grab a little bit more. I want to make sure you can all see what I'm doing. We'll go around the edge, and this is our shadowing. I'm going to come up under my hat a little. And if your shadowing is a little messy, don't worry about it. It's a pumpkin. It's a pumpkin. I'm going to grab up the orange again. The original orange, the spice pumpkin. I'm going to come under this hat all the way across. I'm going to grab some of the spiced pumpkin, blend it in a little bit, and we're going to put that shadow right under that brim, because that brim would be casting a shadow on your cute little pumpkin. All right. Now, I'm going to wipe that off. I'm going to grab up my orange again. I'm going to fill in this center a little. And you have a little tracer line right there in the middle. Gonna grab that Georgia clay again. And I'm gonna start right where that line ends, and I'm gonna bring it down and around. That wasn't enough. Let's get a little more. Be a little generous with that Georgia clay. There we go. I'm gonna come all the way up. Add a little bit of that to the middle as well. Get a little bit of like original orange. Got a little paint boogie. And last but not least, you're gonna use that orange again. Fill in this last bit. I like working wet on wet. That's why we add more color. Everything blends better if it's wet on wet. So I'm gonna grab up some of the Georgia clay. It's kind of a red clay color. And I'm gonna come right here underneath that little connection and bring it up about halfway. All right, wipe that off. Try to get off as much as you can. Don't rinse it. I like the dirty brush. I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna grab a little bit of white, go back and forth. And the rest of this pumpkin on the right side, we're gonna add a little bit of that white too. And you can bring it out. I'll fix that little boo-boo I just made in a minute, but just bring it out into the middle of your pumpkin a little. We'll get a little bit more. I need just some water on my brush. We still good? We still good? Got a little bit of white, go back and forth. And on this side, see, we went on the inside of this middle with our Georgia clay. On the outside of that middle, we're gonna hit it with a little bit of this white. All right. Just bring it into the middle just a little. We'll do it again on the other side. A little bit of white. Swish, swish, swish. And over here, I'm gonna bring it up. That was excessive. Just kind of bring it into the middle. Another little paint booger for some reason. And now I'm gonna wet my brush, take the water out. It's still dirty, I didn't really rinse it. I just wet it a little. I'm gonna get a little bit of that white. I'm gonna go back and forth, blend it. And I'm just gonna come in. Whoops, that was excessive. That was too much. I'm gonna lighten the center of my pumpkin just a little. I gotta fix that. All right, I'm gonna grab a brush and fix my little boo-boo. I just got orange in my black, so I'm gonna correct that. And I'm gonna come all the way over because I got messy orange. I guess I'm trying to work fast because of the interweb. And I got a little messy. That's okay. I'm gonna fill that in a little towards the middle. And then I'm gonna grab a little bit of white on that brush that has black, just the tiniest bit. And I'm just gonna come right along the top of that brim and add a little bit of that shadow. Actually, I'm gonna do it at the top as well. We'll come along, add a little black, grab a little white, swish, swish, and just add a few highs and lows of black. There. It's gonna have seed beads there, so don't stress about it too much. let's grab another brush and we are going to second coat the purple. While this is drying, I'm gonna come up and just put another coat of purple right on top of that. Now you could do this any color you want. You're not stuck with purple. If you want to do it green, do it green. If you want to do it red, whatever color makes your heart happy is the color you should paint. There's no hard, fast rule. To me, purple was just kind of Halloween-y. All right, I'm gonna hit this edge again. We still good? All right, now while that's got the purple on it, I'm gonna wipe it off. I'm not gonna rinse, I'm just gonna get the excess. I'm gonna grab a little bit of white right on the tip, blend it into your brush a little, and on the underside, the bottom of that little triangle, add a tiny bit of white on both sides. Do it again, get a little white, blend it in. And right here, you're gonna add just a tiny bit of white. We're gonna fill this side with goodies, but just add a tiny bit of that white, just kind of scrub it in to that hat band right there, just to give it a little pizzazz. All right, I think we're good. I'm gonna get this dry so I can paint my face on. Let's get her dry. All right, I have to make sure it's dry because I want to put my tracer back on. We're going to trace our eyeballs. And I don't want to put my tracer in wet paint. There we go. All right, so this, oops, I tore it. Dagnabbit, I hate when I do that. They're so hard to scan. I want to make sure that's cooled off. Oh. Thank you, Deanna, for the stars. I have to go out and come back in. Let me go out again, come back in while I'm waiting for it to cool. Oh, I kind of see what you're talking about, a little shadow. That's funny. All right, so let's lay this back down. I'm just gonna press that in, and I'm just gonna do I'll do my mouth too. I'm gonna do my eyes with our graphite paper, and I'll very lightly do our mouth. So I'm gonna trace around our eye. And around this eye. And just make your mouth however you want. I just decided on a squiggly line, but you can do y'all's any way that makes you happy. I didn't even do a nose. I'm gonna peel this off. I'm just gonna freehand my spider, but it is, oh, look at there. It is gonna be on the tracer. If you remember, it will be on the tracer, so no worries. That will be on the tracer as well, that little gap in the tracer, the little taya. Okay, so I am going to use black to do the inside of the eyes, okay? So I'm gonna get a liner brush, and I'm gonna use my black to do the inside. So watch what I do here. Just that inside bits. Y'all know it's hard for me to do tiny little details. So hard. I practically have to just stop talking and concentrate because my hands don't really want to do what my brain is telling them. Let me get a little water on there. So do those eyeball centers. And we'll do this side as well. Go right around that tracer line. And y'all know I'm not doing that mouth with this paintbrush because that is not my forte. My hands are squiggly and shaky, and there ain't no way I can make that happen. So we're going to do that with our Sharpie. Not a Sharpie. Please don't use the Sharpie. We're going to use our Posca. It's got a thicker nib on it, and it'll work really well. All right, so we have the inside of our eyes. Now what I'm going to use for the outside, which is really the inside, okay? It's like the cut part of the pumpkin, is this antique gold. I'm gonna get a little bit of water because I let that sit too long. And I'm gonna use this antique gold to fill in the outside of those eyes. So let's just go around. Way down. I got into my black a little. That's all right. Should have waited for my black to dry, but I can't do that. We're on the internet race. Racing against time. Okay, let's go around the other side. And I really can't talk while I'm doing this because I know I'm going to mess up if I do. Go right up on that tracer line. Oh, I'm gonna delete. I'm gonna rinse that off. I'm gonna show you this close up, but before I do, I'm gonna grab just the tiniest bit of this. I'm gonna make sure my brush is nice and wet. Grab the tiniest bit of this Georgia clay, kind of blend it into that water. And I am gonna come where the swoop is in this eye. I'm just gonna add a little bit of something, just so it's not one plain color. And then, hang on, I got a little gapper there. Then we're gonna let this dry, or we're gonna get this dry. We're not gonna let it dry. We're gonna get this dry. We're gonna use our pen to add some details, and then we're gonna start glassing this baby up. Let's see. While we're doing that, I'm gonna refresh my page, and I'll show you this close up too. All right, that's nice and dry. Let me show you that close up. So stinking cute. But what we're gonna do next is really gonna take it to the next level. I'm gonna grab two things. One thing I'm gonna grab is this marker. This comes from Hobby Lobby. It is called Master's Touch Graphic Marker. And we're gonna use this to do some really cute, fine details to our art piece. And what I like to do is just go around the edges. Now, since this is black, you're gonna go on the outside, okay? Because obviously, it's not gonna show up if you go right over the black. So I'm just gonna do short strokes, short, fast, easy strokes, right around that outside of that trim of the hat. Just for giggles, I'm gonna come across as well. And I'll make some lines. We're gonna come down, stroke, stroke, stroke. I'm gonna come around that brim, and I'll show you this up close and personal in just a minute. All right, I'm gonna go around the eyes. Swoop, swoop, swoop. So cute. I'm gonna come down at the bottom and make a little line here. And we gotta do our mouth, but this pen is too fine, it's too detail-y to do with that. So I'm gonna grab a black Posca. You cannot use a Sharpie under resin unless you seal it afterwards. So use a Posca. And I'm gonna just go right over and trace over my tracer line for this cutie's mouth. Boom. Voila. And I'm gonna go, I forgot to use my graphic pen. I don't want to get my hand in that still. I forgot to use it on the inside of my eyes. So I'm gonna hit that with the Posca. So stinking cute. Love it. Few lines. I'm gonna hit this with a blow dryer just to make sure that ink is dry, just for 5 seconds. And then we're gonna start adding our goodies. Let's get it dry. Yeah, the ink. All right, so what we're gonna use on our little hat is a little sunflower from a floral pick that I had. Now it does have a nub on the back where I cut it, so I'm just gonna bend that so it lays flat. Just bend it a little. We want it to kind of lay flat. And I have a little baby pine cone from a floral pick. We're gonna add that. And we're gonna add a star that's gonna hang from the little hat, but I'm gonna make a little line. Oh, I forgot something, didn't I, y'all? I forgot one thing. We're gonna do, where's my pen again? Oh, here it is. I'm gonna do a line from, hang on, let me move that off. We're gonna start here. And we're gonna come down. I'm gonna set this aside. I'm gonna grab up some of this black paint and make a circle and a half circle. And I'm gonna use the pen again to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8-legged monster. I hate spiders. I hate them. I'm gonna dry this real quick so I don't make a mess. And I'm gonna put in some little white eyes on there. What do y'all think? I think we needed the spider. He's the piece de resistance. Super cute. Okay, so while I'm doing this, I'm going to use my stylus, the fat end. I'm going to grab a little bit of that white on the end of it. Hang on, I want to make sure. And I'm going to give him 2 eyes. Cute, cute, cute. We'll get it dry, and then we'll add our goodies. Okay. Again, we're going to add these to his hat band, but before we do that, we're going to take some black glass. This is crushed black reflective. I'm going to put all my little goodie pieces right there so I don't forget them. And oh wow, that is some crazy black. I don't like that. Let's see. That is huge, this. Have y'all been getting this? I want a small piece. Watch this. Is that gonna work right there? Probably. Right there. And these are way too big. I don't like this. I'm gonna get all the little baby pieces. We're going to have ourselves a hat out of black reflective. I don't want to place it. I want it to just be on there. All right. This is a lot. These are massive pieces. Look at that. That is huge. Mungus. Are y'all getting that in your bags? I didn't even notice if you were, because I don't bag it. So I'm just going to start piling it on. Little bits of glass. Oops. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm being a baby, y'all, because I don't like that. I want my little tiny glass. Picking through. Picking and choosing. Picking and choosing. I'm glad we weren't doing a whole big old piece, because I would be having a fit. Y'all don't want to see me have a fit. Won't be pretty. All right. Not seeing much of that reflection either. A little piece here. A couple pieces here. Then I'm going to pile some on top. Well, it stopped? Okay. I'm going to add just a few little nuggets on top because I like to have some depth. I'm going to find a few smaller bits and just do that. I'll add them right on top just to give it depth. Pile it up. Pile it up. Okay, that's our top hat. On the bottom, we're going to wait until we do resin. We're going to put a little bit of black seed beads on the brim. And right now, what we're going to do, I don't really, let me see. Where's my glue? Where's my glue? I'm going to use this glue pen. I'm just gonna add a little bit of glue to the right side of the brim, not much, because we're not gonna wait for this to dry. We just want everything to stay in place while we resin. I'm gonna put this, hang on. I had to cut that off the little bit of streamer. We're gonna put that there. I'm gonna flatten this stem and I'm gonna put that right here. Oh no, I'm not doing that until the resin's done. I don't wanna pour resin over the top of this. I'm having a moment, so ignore me. I'm gonna actually wipe some of that glue off, so don't do that. I'm gonna do that after I resin, so let's don't. We're gonna go ahead and pour resin. When the resin gets on here, we're gonna place these because we don't want the resin to be on top of that because then it doesn't look great if you've resin the top of that stuff. So we're gonna do our resin, we're gonna add our seed beads, and then we'll add all that stuff back. This glass is for the birds. All right, so I am gonna make, let's see. I'm gonna make an ounce of resin. I don't think we'll need an ounce, but I'll let you know exactly how much we used when we're done. Eek. But I'd rather be safe than sorry. We've had enough issues. We don't need to have resin issues. So let's do a half an ounce of hardener and a half an ounce of resin. I had to mark it on my cup because I'm blind and I can't see. So we're gonna use the hardener first. I'm gonna pour a half an ounce in my little baby cup. And a half ounce of resin by Art Resin. Make sure you go slow. It's easier if you are new to mix in 2 cups so you don't have boo-boos. And I don't know how I'll know when time is up, except for that I'm gonna ask Steve to time me because I can't see your comments unless I refresh every 5 seconds. So I'm gonna have Steve time me and let me know when my 3 minutes is up. And I'm just gonna chat like I can see you because I can't see your comments and I can't stir and refresh. So I'm just gonna chitty chat. So, I don't know, what are we gonna talk about? So cute. So I can't see your comments, but I can read them later. So let's talk about things you'd like to see us do. Now, I won't be live next Wednesday because I'll be in Destin. I am going to be teaching at Tamara Bennett's Southern Adornments live event. We have 150 students coming. So I'll be teaching next week in Destin for that event. If you're going, I would love to meet you. I'm going to post on this page while we're there and let anybody who follows me and wants to like sit down and have a little 30-minute chat. We're going to have a little meet and greet in Destin for anybody who wants to just have a hug. Just hug it out, right? We're just going to have a hug, meet face to face. I love meeting you guys face to face because y'all see my face all the time and all I see is a teeny tiny little dot with your little teeny tiny picture on it. I don't get to see who you are very much. And some of y'all don't even have pictures of yourselves. So I'd love to put faces with names if we can do that. I'm going to try to refresh real quick. And yeah. So yeah, so we won't be live next Wednesday, but we'll come back after that event is over and we won't miss any, hopefully, good Lord willing and the creek don't rise, we won't miss any more. Unless I get sick again or something crazy happens. I can't make promises like that, I guess. But I don't like missing my Wednesdays. It's my fun time. And I so appreciate all you guys who come and hang out with us on Wednesday. I know it's church day for some of you guys. Miss Lou is at church. She can't ever watch me on a Wednesday. I'm going to refresh again and see if we got anything going on. So yeah, is this not cute? I am so digging this. It's an 8 by 10. Is it not time's up? Feels like I've been stirring for 12 minutes.
10 seconds.
10 seconds, he said. 10 seconds. Let's scrape the bottom. Make sure our sides are scraped. And he said time is up. So first thing I like to do once my resin is mixed is any glass bits that are on our piece, I want to start with those first. So I'm going to start with drizzling my resin right over the top of this black glass. So we'll drizzle, 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 drizzle. It's going to make it shiny and pretty. Drizzle, drizzle. I like that some of these pieces, you can see the reflective side. I think because I placed them instead of dumping them, which is what I normally do, most of them are on the wrong side, or, you know, they're not random. All right, so I'm gonna move this real quick. I know that glue's still wet. I'm gonna put a little bit of that resin right there, and we'll put this little booger right back, hanging off of his, her, she, him hats. Now, I'm just gonna take, all my glass is covered. So I'm gonna take this, and I already know I have too much, and I'm just gonna put a little bit, let's put some here, here, and I'm gonna stop. And don't let me forget to tell you how much I use. We'll let that settle while we move this around. We're gonna cover our entire canvas. This is why you want your paint to be good and dry, because we're gonna cover our entire canvas and we're gonna be moving that resin around. This really pops with this resin over these bright, fun fall colors. Whoop, see? All right, settle down. I'm gonna move it anyway. I'm gonna get up in here. Okay, let's get you back up there where you belong. Right there. I'll get it adjusted in just a second. Huh? You lost me? Huh. Oh, well, losing me and it being frozen is two different things. If you lose me, it'll say disconnected, trying to reconnect or something. All right, I'm gonna get over here and do this side. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm just adding resin, so we're just gonna keep moving. Just get it added, move it to the edge. What I like to do before I'm done is just go all the way around my edge to make sure I don't have any gappers. All the way around. Now I'm going to look at it, make sure that nothing is skipped. No funny spots. Everything looks nice and covered. Now I'm gonna wipe my hand off just a little bit. And I'm actually gonna take these off. I'm gonna pop my bubbles real quick with my heat gun. So I'm gonna use my heat gun on low air and about medium heat. We're gonna hit those bubbles, but you wanna keep your heat gun moving. You don't wanna like hone in on one spot. You wanna keep it going. You can go over the same spot for a minute or two, but you wanna keep it moving. You don't wanna like burn a hole. It will leave a mark, and you might not know it until the next day or even a couple of days. I see that's wiggling around. We'll fix that. But keep it moving so it's not just lighting up one area. This is what pops any bubbles that you created mixing your resin, all right? So that's all good. Now I'm gonna take my little pick and I'm gonna scoot this back where it belongs. He is a runaway. He's trying his very best to leave the scene of the crime. All right, so what I'm gonna do before I put my other little goodies on is seed beads, okay? So the seed beads that I'm using came from Hobby Lobby. They're called Black Opaque, all right? I'm gonna just add, I gotta get this tape off. I'm just gonna add a few beads to a cup. I just always feel like I have a little more control out of this cup than this tube. And I'm gonna turn it this way a little. Oh, I see a gapper. I see a hole. Oh, she's trying to sneak up on me. And I'm gonna add seed beads just to that brim, okay? Now, if you're doing this at home and some go crazy, don't worry about it. We'll use our little bead tool and wrangle them in. So I'll add a little bit of those black. I'm gonna put the excess right back in to my tube because, oh no, I just poured my white ones in with the holiday. Let me see if I can, hang on, let me grab my crystal because I had saved some. And then I just dumped them in another cup because I'm crazy. So the other color I'm going to use is called Crystal Luster, and they're kind of clear. So that's what I'm going to use here. And now I'm tangled up in my cord. So I'm going to dump a little bit, not many, just a tiny bit into my cup again. And I am going to hit right in the bill or the hat band, right at the top and right at the bottom, just for a little bit of extra fun. We'll put a few here and a few here. La, la. All right, that's good enough. Now I can take my little tool and I can wrangle in any that decided to go their own way. So you can just take your little tool and make sure they're placed in the right spots. They're not trying to run off to Spiderland. Any comments I need to know about? I think I'm gonna add a few little more right at the top of this headband, headband, whatever. We'll push them down. All right, good to go. You know what I think I'm gonna do? I know if this pumpkin was carved, he wouldn't have like little eyes, but I'm gonna take one little bead and put one on each side, just because I can. Voila. He's mine. I will do as I please. Now I'm going to take my stick and my cup, try not to get resin all over me, and I'm just going to drizzle right back over the top of some of those beads. You don't need much. It should all stick, but since I have extra, we're just gonna add. Because I still have, let me look. We made an ounce and I still have, where's my line? I'll have to look at it in a second. Hang on. I want to add my other things. So right now, I'm going to take my sunflower, make sure it's kind of flat, and I'm going to lay it right in that resin. I'm actually going to pour a dollop so I can make sure that sticks. And I'm going to put that right in there. Voila. I'm going to take my little pine cone and I'm going to stick him right there where that sunflower is kind of sticking up. And I made this little curlicue out of that wire, this covered wire. I just made a little curlicue. And I'm just going to stick it right in there as well. Just tuck it right in. Come on. You don't want me to go in there. Right there. And is that all I had? Is that all I had? I think I want to move it. I don't want that laying on my star. So I think I will turn this way and tuck him under like that, like so. And I can still see a little bit of the underside of that. So I'm going to grab one more thing, maybe an acorn. So this is that little pick that I got from Hobby Lobby, and there's a acorn on here. So I think I'm going to cut off, I'll use my scissors, and I'll cut off that acorn. I need wire cutters. And we'll stick him in there too. We'll turn this down, and we'll stick him right in there too. And he'll stick right in that resin. Oh my gosh, y'all, that is so cute. I want you to move up a little. I'm going to do a debris search. I see some right here. Some of that stuff that you use from those floral picks will like leave debris in your art. So if you think about it, or if you care, you might want to just spray the floral parts with a little bit of clear sealer before you add them, because I just dumped debris all in this piece and I don't like it. Leona's not gonna like it either. I'm trying to get it up. I'm trying to pick it up and it don't want to. It's so tiny. Okay, I think I got it that time. Okay, I think we're done. We got a little bit of something there. A little fuzz, a little something there. Okay, oh my goodness, y'all. That is so cute. Let me hold it up. Let you guys see it close up and in person. Hang on. Look. It's so cute. Look at our little spider. And look at the hats. That is so stinking cute. I'm going to be real still for a minute so you can kind of see that pumpkin face close up and personal. Just so darling. It's just darling, ain't it? All right, I'm going to turn the camera up.